Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing tonight? Perfect. All right, so we're going to get started. It kind of almost seems a bit loud to have a mic when the room's a bit smaller, but I'll work with it. So everybody, welcome to Pitchit York. This is our 7th session at York and our 33rd show, which is, every time I say it, it always seems bigger each time. Well, I guess the number goes up, so it is bigger. So it's exciting, but welcome everybody. You can follow us at PitchitTO. You can use the City Hall hashtag, or you can use just PitchitTO. I believe that is the other one that works. But you can follow us on all of these great channels. We did start a new series on the YouTube channel for investment side and things to look out for in your pitch, so you can check it out there as well. So at Pitchit, at OPN, we want you to spend less time finding money and more time growing your business. So we spend a lot of time working with a lot of different startups across the region in the GTA, and we really do put a lot of effort into helping startups as much as we can to give them a voice, somewhere to speak, somewhere to practice, and get out there and then get in front of the investors from spending all the time with us. So in total, we've had 47 events. Lots of people have come in and out of the doors, which is amazing. We've had close to 120 startups that have pitched at our events, and lots of great little details from people that have been funded through gumming what we do. And at the end of the day, we've done a lot of great talks and series that we've started. The next big ones that we do have coming up outside of PitchitTO, we started I think it was a year and a half ago, a program out of Durham, which is called the Up Sales, which is run by Frank. So that's a pretty exciting talk where salespeople come in and talk about how they've helped grow and build companies. And we're always looking for great new speakers to come out. It's held in the town of Whitby at the Centennial Building. Free, and there's food. So it's pretty cool. It runs once a month, so you can check out the details on the site as well for that. And some of the great companies that we worked with have come through the system, which has been great. A lot of good brands that are on here, and some that are growing, and some that are taking off at the same time. So some of the upcoming days that we have, PitchitTO on Thursday. So this month we are running 2 shows. Thursday it's at the Lodge on Queen, which is 251 Queen, and we'll have 3 great startups pitching on that day as well. As I mentioned, we have the Up Sales Talk, which is September 19th. Social Media Day, which is October 3rd. And if anybody is interested from being a startup or investor and are interested in coming to Pitchit Fireside, I'm not sure if anybody's been there from here or heard about it, but Pitchit Fireside or Fireside, which is an event that is hosted every year. It's the 4th year this year. And it's grown from the first year we were there at 70 people to now being close to 400 people. They're all entrepreneurs, probably 20 or 30% are investors, VCs, angels. It's in Bob Cajun at a resort. You stay in a cabin. You actually have a sleeping bag, and you spend the weekend having fireside chats. We'll be doing a pitch event throughout Friday and Saturday. I think it might actually end up all being Friday. But if you have any interest in going, we're subsidizing tickets, and the dates are 6th to 8th. And you can meet a lot of great people there. It's been a lot of fun and a lot of cool people that attend the event. A lot of great speakers that have come in from all over the world. Social Media Day, as mentioned, in October. If there's an interest, you can sign up for that as well. It should be a pretty cool event. And here's the details I just mentioned. If you're interested in coming to Fireside, there'll be a Friday morning pitch workshop that we'll be putting on to help startups with their 30-second pitch. You will do a lunch 30-second pitch. We'll take as many companies as we can in front of the 400 people. You'll be doing a 30-second spot just as we normally do. And then at dinner time, we'll be having 5 of those companies doing a 3 to 5 minute pitch on their company, and they can have a chance to win their ticket for next year. The tickets are pretty costly, so it's kind of worth it, but they're about $2,500 for the 4-day event. So, and we always have to thank our partners and sponsors. So Barskin & Parr, which they are a patent legal firm. They've been awesome. They jumped and came on board and started sponsoring us a few months back. Clear Vision, a design strategy company, Blockchain Forest. The name is what it is. They do a lot of projects in the blockchain space. Flow Water, who's a company that we've invested into a few years ago. They've been providing us with water to every event, so that's pretty cool. Miller Thompson, they've been a partner with us. I believe it's actually now 1 year that they came on board to start helping all of the startups inside of OPN. Y-Space and Seneca for the space and everything that they do here, which is a great community, and we're glad to be part of it with them, which also follows up with Lucas and Startup York. Lucas will be here a little bit later. And then the great support we have from York Angels with the angels that we have here today and our partners. So thank you for them. You guys can clap. It's on video. Oh yeah, and my software company. I forgot. It's like, we help sponsor this. Laura's looking at me like, death race. Why don't you ever mention who we are? Yeah, so my software company. So the team. I always get excited when I get to this slide because every day you want to make sure it's growing and you need more people on it to make it exciting and grow. So my two partners, Angelo and Frank, who are both angel investors, sold, built, and grew companies, and they spend a lot of time helping you guys mentor and build your companies. So they're obviously a crucial piece into what we do. Laura, Katrina, and Brian. Brian, who's running the video, Katrina, who's on vacation, and Laura, who's in the back, who checked you guys in. So basically, thank you guys for all your help. So just to throw out, for interest's sake, if there's any startups in the crowd that are interested in looking at what we do at the OPN side, OPN is made up of 3 entities, which is the Supporters Fund, where we invest in companies. To date, since November, we've invested in 7 startup companies. We have an Xcelerator, which we're doing our second cohort, which starts in October. And you can send an email if you're interested to learn more. There's also details on the web at opn.ninja. And of course, we have our program, What We Do Here. So if you're interested in becoming an investor or being part of an OPN Xcelerator program, send us an email. We're always getting questions on how do I become an investor, or can I become one, or I am one, and you're interested to do some of the things and join and participate, then we'd love to have you guys. So today, the pitch format, why we're here. We're actually trying to shift it a little bit. So instead of making it an 11-minute pitch, which there will be still 11-minute pitch, we're shooting for a 9-minute pitch. So we're trying to consolidate that high energy into 9 minutes. I don't know if it's possible. I'm not going to put them on the buzzer, but that's what we're trying for. Always trying to improve what we're doing. They will provide the 9-minute pitch. Then we'll have feedback and information back from each of the advisors. And then we do 5 minutes of Q&A from the crowd, so where you guys can think deep about some questions you want to ask to help them, because at the end of the day, it will help them grow their business if they understand what you people, who would be their buyers, are going to say and think about their product. So some of the advisors that we're going to have today, or all of them, we can talk about each one of you if you'd like. We'll start with Jane. So Jane is from IBM Innovation Hub, and also from CapRiser Capital. So she's come today to help us out with some hard-hitting facts on the companies, which is great. Thank you, Jane. Irene has been, I think this is your second or third time? Second time, right on. So you're back. I like it. It's good. So Irene provides some hard-hitting information, which is great. She's an avid investor, part of York Angels, and has her own investment firm as well. And I believe it's, there's the name, Wonderman Ventures. Nikhil also has a company that does investment, part of York Angels. And you also have a company that does... I'm going to come work for you then, I think. He has a $100 billion fund. I'm just kidding. He has a $100 million fund that helps with Den Venture for startup, early stage companies. Any stage company. Oh, that's amazing. Well, welcome, guys, and thank you very much for coming today. So today we're going to have Supply Expert, Lucky 7, and Text Box that are going to be pitching. So Elber, Supply Expert, you're up.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming tonight. My name is Elber Gamboa, and I am the founder of Supply Expert. And today I'm here seeking for $300,000 and a convertible note. Coming from the electrical industry with 10 years of experience in the field, I realized that not much have changed in the way contractors and institutions buy their materials for the last 20 years. And getting myself more and more into technology every day, I also realized that there was not a platform where I could go buy, compare, and check for availability for materials that I need to work as an electrician. This actually fed my curiosity to know if the electrical industry was the only one having this issue. I find out it was not. That's when I saw an opportunity to build something different. Contractors, they usually buy materials from 2 to 3 distributors, letting the contractor not knowing if he can get a better pricing or better availability for the materials they need. And there is only 3 ways for them to get the materials. Usually it's by email, by phone, or by driving to the warehouse. By email is usually to request a quote or to keep track of the orders that they made. By phone is usually to check if they have the materials that they need and drive there, come back, and finish the job. And driving by the warehouse, which is the most common situation and most inefficient way, because usually the distributors, they don't have the materials in stock. So what's the solution that Supply Expert will bring to the industry? A multi-vendor platform where contractors can request quotes from all the vendors in the platform with one click. And having the opportunity to be able to check for materials, pricing, and availability whenever they need it 24/7. And also just to get the materials quick when they need it, with the option to go and pick it up or get it delivered to their job site. We're just focusing in the electrical industry right now, as we are coming from that industry, but we're going to be eventually expanding to all the trades in the construction field. The electrical industry right now is $18 billion with 1.5% growth year after year in the last 5 years. We will be making money by every sale in the platform, taking a commission from 5 to 10% on the sales. A little bit of the timeline of when we started. We started in 2017 in January with the idea conception. Having the problem. Then we start working on creating the first MVP. Then we hit the roads in June, visiting distributors and future partners to tell them about our concept and idea of business that we are creating. And then we realized that we need to make some changes, and then we create the second MVP in June, and now we are getting the products from our distributors to start making sales. So how it works is pretty simple. You just go to supplyexpert.ca, you select the item or items that you need, go to the shopping cart, select the option that you want for getting the materials, to pick them up at the warehouse or to get it delivered, and pay for it, and that's it. So competition-wise, right now we have Toolbox, Rent Around, and Build Direct, which are in the market. We have a multi-vendor platform. We do not compete with our vendors. We provide financing to the buyers. They can request quotes from everybody in the platform. They can request special orders, get fast deliveries, and quick pickup options. Our team, myself, Elber Gamboa, master electrician with 10 years of experience in the field, also an inventor of specialty tools for electricians. Michael Bonita Tibus, 13 years of experience of marketing and sales in the electrical industry. And having the OPN team behind with Jeffrey Podbean as business advisor. Now, sales that we are having in projections, in the next 12 months, we are expecting to be selling $400,000 at the end of 12 months. At the end of 24 months, we will be expecting to be selling $1 million. And by the end of 36 months, we are expecting to be selling $9.5 million. The funds we will get, 70% will go to marketing and sales, 30% for product and team development. And our exit strategy is to be able to sell our company to one of the marketing companies like iMark, or even a company like Lowe's that they're expanding on their network in the construction field. Again, my name is Elber Gamboa. I am seeking for $300,000 at a convertible note. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Good job. All right. Armin, do you want to jump in first?
Tell me about your acquisition strategy for distributors to get onto your platform, and why would they want to? That's a piece that I don't see in the presentation. I have more questions? He's not allowed to answer? So that would be one of the things. Sorry, I was expecting that to answer, but that's all right. So that's a piece that I'm missing, specifically in the pitch, is the acquisition and the cost of acquisition for those distributors. Understanding of why somebody would want to use that and how that competes against the big players like Lowe's and Home Depot. You've marked yourself against competitors that are doing a platform play, not against other types of supply options that the contractor has access to. And the last part of that is, are there other competitors out there that are already electrical in nature? I know you're focused on the electrician side. Are there ones that are specialty distributors that might find that particular platform attractive? So not your general, wires, but specialized lighting products. So those are the things that I'm kind of missing in terms of fleshing out the business model.
Perfect.
Good. Anyway, listen, I work with Acklands Granger, and I know the market that is very fragmented, and there is a need for consolidation. And I think even the big companies don't do it very well. So I think there's a market opportunity. On the other side, I think in terms of the presentation itself, I would like to see more energy, because you're asking for money, right? You got to show more passion, more being onto the presentation, onto the market, onto everything. I think you have to see that enthusiasm for somebody to give out that money, besides the fact that you got to have market and all this kind of stuff. That's my feedback.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hello. So I agree with both of the advisor here. And one thing that I would suggest is when you're presenting, you have to really project yourself and really put a smile like this. It's perfect smile, right? Put a smile like yourself, and you need to spread your enthusiasm so that people can feel your excitement about the product that you're doing. Other questions that I have is, for example, how many customers do you have right now? So I didn't see that. And if I am a electrician, I'm not in that business, so I don't know. But why don't I just go shop in Home Depot? Why don't I just go shop in Lowe's or Canadian Tire? They do delivery too. I didn't get that, so that would be something that you should explain, because I personally did not see, why we need to do that. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Okay, any questions from the crowd?
Hi. It was a good presentation. What I'm curious about is what level of development are you? Is the platform created, or is that still to be done?
No, the platform is already created. We are just uploading the products, more products into the platform for contractors to be able to request whatever they need. If we don't have it in the platform, they can request a quote, and then they will get the materials too.
So of all the products that are in the platform, because there's a lot of products in electrical, so at what level of, like, if you call 100% having everything, at what level of uploading have you got the products at? Like, how far away are you from actually producing?
I would say we are at 5% right now.
Okay, so you've got a long ways to
Yeah.
go to.
Well, we are getting all the products right now from the suppliers. We just didn't put them in the platform yet.
The suppliers, are you talking about the conventional electrical wholesaler suppliers? Or
Yes.
are you talking about, because you're talking about Home Depot, you're talking about Lowe's, and those are retail suppliers?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're talking about the
the
electrical
direct
wholesalers.
distributors to contractors.
So what's the potential for you to create your own, so at a certain volume, you no longer have to go through the suppliers, you go to the manufacturers. So what's the potential for it? Because when you're going from, what was your high number in sales, 9 million? Or like when you when you're selling as much or more than what the electrical wholesalers are selling, then you put yourself in a position where you can deal directly with the manufacturers, right? Mm-hmm. Is that part of the strategy, or?
Well, no. The way we see it is like, how Airbnb or Uber works. They don't have the cars. Uber don't have the cars, and they're like not like all over the world. Right. Airbnb the same thing. They don't even own a single building. What we want to do is create the platform where all the distributors that are already in place will have in stock the materials that contractors need, but they can sell it through us in their platform. Okay. So basically, we will be the channel for the materials for the existing locations that they already have it.
Right, okay. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Next question.
So actually, my question was kind of the same from one of the advisors. So basically, how do you acquire the distributors, and how do you plan to attract them to go to your platform?
Well, at the beginning, we start knocking at doors. We just jump to every single distributor. Right now, we are already have the green door to go with the largest single distribution company in North America, and they're interested to join the network. That's why you saw like a big jump from $1 million to $9.5 million, and that's just being conservative on the sales, as we see that we have a big opportunity there with them joining with us.
Hi, my name is Bien. I'm a techie kind of guy, so I like to ask those types of questions. Like, what kind of infrastructure are you running on top of in order to even scale to be able to handle $1 million in revenue?
Well, as MVP, like we just have like a simple out-of-the-box customized system. But eventually, to scale all this the way we wanted to do it, we know we have to create it from scratch and then build it to the necessities that we are going to have specifically for this industry.
Okay.
Okay, one last question.
You mentioned 5 to 10% commission.
Yes.
I think if I use Home Depot or Lowe's, there's no like markup like this. So what exactly? How is the pricing going to be, and then end customer perspective? Is it going to be like? Are you going to be able to match the prices those big guys if you have that commission, I guess is my question.
It's even lower. The thing is that contractors, they buy with direct distributors is because they have at least 30% lower price than what Home Depot and Home Depot and Lowe's or Rona will have. And basically, end customers don't know that, right? Because contractors, they do that every day, so they look for the better pricing. That's why we're targeting the direct distributors in the industries.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you very much, Albert.
Thank you.
Okay, Taiwo, you're up.
When are you gonna start timing? Whenever I start? Oh, kind of need this. Which one goes forward? Forward, back. Hello, everyone. My name is Taiwo. I'm the founder and CEO of Textbox. Basically, I'm here to talk about. Actually, this is an actual conversation I had with a friend of mine. I said, "Can I call you?" They said, "Yes." Is everything okay? Did something happen? This is because this is the kind of world we live in today, where we don't like making phone calls. My generation, and especially the generation coming up, we don't like making phone calls. So basically, instead of using phone calls, we actually rely on things like Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Snapchat, and text messaging. And if we don't want to call our friends and family, we definitely don't want to have to call a business, because that's even more frustrating. Calling a business, you have to find a phone number. You speak to, I guess, maybe 2 or 3 people, explain your problem every single time, and you're on hold for 30 minutes. So companies are starting to realize that they have to provide their customers with some sort of instant messaging platform. Some of them go the chatbot route. So you go to the website and you actually can click on, I guess, and you talk to someone. Some of them actually give you an actual phone number. Fairview Mall, I think Scarborough Town Center does this. You actually have an actual phone number and you text a person at the reception desk. Facebook is actually getting in on the message, using Messenger, the repurposed position in Messenger. And this is Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook's vision. We think you should be able to message a business the same way you can message a friend. But this next slide kind of explains what the problem is. There's a lot of different players, and there's no real default way. If I want to message somewhere downstairs saying, "Hey, what's the Wi-Fi?" or something, you can't actually do that right now. So this is the problem we're trying to solve. We're trying to bring to the world a better instant messaging platform. So Textbox is an instant messaging platform that connects businesses and consumers in a very easy to use and effective way. So how do we do this? Well, we start with text messaging. Why? Because text messaging is actually the most used thing on a smartphone. Pretty much, if you have one of these things, a cell phone, you have access to text messaging. So it has the reach. It has a very high open rate, 98%, 90% in the first 3 minutes. And it's actually usually read in full. So as a communication tool, text messaging is a very good platform, but it's just not considered a business tool. So we do this in a couple ways. One, instead of using phone numbers, we use names because people don't remember names. They don't remember phone numbers. So pretty much what we do is on our platform, we give you access to create your own keyword. And also, we have an auto reply because if you rely on the business to reply to someone, it's going to be too long. It's going to be too slow of a process. So what's our go-to-market strategy? We're actually creating these decals as we speak. I'm talking with a graphic designer right now. So pretty much, we're gonna at the top portion, you can put in your offer, and the bottom portion where it says text, you put in your text box, which is your keyword. So for example, something like this: get 10% off your next meal. Text Pops Burgers to 93411. And basically, our strategy is we're gonna go door to door for businesses and just say, hey, put this in front of your door, register a text box for free. We'll give it to you free for a month because we're pretty sure it will work. And that's our go-to-market strategy. Just after doing that, we're going to actually start doing offline ads. So for example, it's kind of like a live chat for offline ads. So for example, imagine it's the dead of winter, it's minus 20 outside, and you see this offer. It's pretty compelling. It could be more, maybe $500 off or something. So all you got to do is text the keyword that you see, Jet to Holidays to 93411. You get an immediate response. You can book. But the thing about our platform as well is if you have additional questions, you can ask maybe, is there a payment plan? Can I go to Cuba? Can I go to Mexico? And as well, how long is it good for? So you can actually use live chat to get more customers. So what's the business model? It's pretty simple. We're a B2B company. We sell text messaging plans to companies. Plans varies. You can do like a one-time fee. You can do like a pay-as-you-go. So, but our common plan is a $19.99 per month plan. So what's the market for the opportunity? So just like Business School 101, we want every business in the world to have a text box, just like having a phone number or a website or email address. So there's 150 million businesses in the world. Total addressable market is about 36 billion. Definitely not trying to shoot for that right off the gate. We could start in Canada, which is a $1.1 million addressable market. But we're actually going to start here in the GTA. We've identified about 16,000 businesses who would potentially use our service. So what's our competitive advantage? So we believe that there's a couple things that separate us. For example, some companies, they give you actual phone number. But again, people don't remember phone numbers. You can actually go through the CWT and get your own short code, but this costs about $5,000. Takes 2 months to be approved. This is what we have. So the average business can't do this. Some companies give you a shared short code, but actually, even I heard feedback. There's actually pushback from I guess a lot of consumers, because like you feel like once you text in, your number's gonna get spammed, and like you don't want to do that. So we overcome this in a couple ways. One is that first text you send out is just a query service. You just want to know a little bit more. So the business doesn't actually get your information. This keeps the consumers happy, and as well because consumers can also register on our site. The business will never get their phone number because the consumer can also get their own keyword. There's also other players like, for example, Facebook. And again, with like these install apps, it's the main thing is the reach. On the upper end, Facebook has about 2 billion people on it. Text messaging has 7 billion. So like it's the difference between a question of like, hey, do you have Facebook? Or like, hey, what's your number? The most common way right now is email. Email is probably like the most common way that business and consumers talk. But again, email has a very low open rate. It's not considered an instant messaging platform. But text box actually, so we're actually trying to like, I think what separates us is a vision, like where we're trying to take this. And the only difference is this, I don't know if you guys remember this, but we're not going to stop running with 20 meters to go. So basically, financials wise, so right now the company is operational. We have a couple customers. So we have about $1,000 per month burn rate, because again, having a short code is not cheap. And so that's a fixed portion, but there's a variable text messaging portion, which is where we make our profit. So the goal right now is to keep acquiring more customers. So we are hoping to get, in the future, about $382,000 in our first year. By the second year, $1.8 million. And by the third year, 4.5. So in terms of milestones, we've launched a product. We have a market validation. We have a few from, I guess, actually customer discoveries, as well as a few paying customers. We're a part of the Spark Regional Innovation Center in Oshawa. We received a $5,000 grant from the BACD also in, I guess, Whitby or Oshawa area. We actually recently joined up, and we're a client of OPN, trying to push the customer acquisition model. So going forward, again, in terms of the strategy, we're just about to employ right now, which is applying a sales team, scalable social media funding, stuff like that. In the future, we'll have more business features, for example, a chatbot, a plugin for your actual website, a mobile application. And in the future, we just want to be a company where we can you can actually message a business just like how you message a friend. It's something we can't do today, and this is what we want to bring to the market. So the team is made up of myself, founder and CEO, CTO as well, background in engineering and research from York University. My Nawal just joined the team maybe about a month ago. She's still being onboarded. She has sales, brings sales, marketing, and business consultancy, and this is exactly where we need right now. Pretty strong advisory board. Jen is the founder of a top 50 MarTech company in the world. Jeff is the VP of Universal Canada. Hack is a director at Symantec. Andrew is an advisor, head of entrepreneurship at IBM, and Brian is a former VC and actually an advisor at BACD as well. So in terms of exits, I could see us being, because we operate in the business to consumer, kind of making things easier. I can see a Zendesk being interested in us. I can also see a HubSpot, and I could definitely see a Facebook being interested in us. But the route I would rather go is more like the IPO route. So we're asking for $100,000 on a convertible note for marketing campaigns. Again, running this campaign that we're currently doing, it won't be cheap. As well for product enhancement. So I mean, once we start getting the more traction, we want to be able to get short codes in different parts of the world, mobile applications, stuff like that, as well for working capital. And again, my name is Tai Wo. I'm the founder and CEO of Textbox. Thanks a lot. had to rush it. That's right.
Perfect. All right. There you go.
Thank you. I actually really like how you present, and I actually think that the product would have a market, would have a marketplace. There's a few things that I wanted you to clarify. Is, for example, is it always like a automatic reply, or can we place someone behind the scene and reply later when we actually want to answer some more complicated question? So you did mention chatbot later, so I guess that will be, automatic reply in a conversational way. Okay, but my question is, could we have a person? And my next comment is that you need to sort of market the audience, because it's sort of like what we used to. I always see like text, whatever, like free book to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you get a free book. So you need to market the audience to tell them that this is sort of a little bit different than the other one. And one suggestion that I have for you is, I'm sure JP won't mind, you should have a free OPN number for JP, and then everyone can just text OPN, and then say, when's the next session? When's the next session? When's the next session, right?
Good stuff. Listen, when I was going through this presentation, I said, this is an idea that is very simple. A lot of conventional investors may push back, but some of the smartest investors will jump on this idea right away. This is great. So the second thing is, how would you patent or protect your idea? Is it replicable easily by other folks? So that is something I would think about. And third is customer acquisition will be a killer. So there has to be a very efficient strategy around that. But I think this idea has got legs.
Couple things. I really liked at the bottom of your presentation the process of the presentation itself. If you go back one slide, you can see that for everybody in the audience. Because we see a lot of pitches in angel groups, or if you're a VC, and having this ribbon at the bottom, I think is just fantastic. It's a small thing, but it actually makes a difference, because you're hitting all the pieces that I would want to see in a pitch. I would ask that you face the audience more while you're presenting. You do tend to focus on the screen. I know you had some issues with the slide not showing up, but that would be helpful. You obviously show enthusiasm. Slowing down just a little. I don't know if you got into the 9 minutes or not, but just a little would be okay. I do like what Jane said, which is having a bit of an interactive audience participation at the very beginning. Hey, everybody pull out your cell phone, text hello or something to this number, and then you get the reply. Just because I think that immediately engages. When you're pitching to get money, you need to appeal to their emotional side as well. Investors don't make decisions any differently than how you decide to buy something on Amazon. If it makes sense to them and they're kind of excited, then that drives they're more focused on listening in a more positive way already.
Oh, that's some great feedback. Thank you, guys. It's funny, Taiwo, we've been running the text box for the last 3 sessions, and then the session that you're pitching, we didn't run it, and we probably should have, because it would have worked, tailored in nicely. But all valid points. Anybody have any questions? Yeah, one sec.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good yourself.
So, my name is Will Moyer. I'm the Senior Reputations Development Manager for Loritz Technology, which even shorter is I'm your end user. So after looking at this, everything's fantastic, but I have a few questions. I'll knock it down to one. What I want to know is, I understand the front-end process, and that at first I thought you were developing an API for maybe a platform that was coming down the road, but it seems that this is a direct text-to-consumer process that allows them to contact the business directly. Fantastic, I get that. What I want to know is, how am I, as a business, and especially on the development side, able to measure the response, or what data and metrics am I receiving from end users actually responding to these questions? Because it seems like there isn't a development platform on the end where I can actually look at these metrics and look at the information coming in and see if this is going to be effective, or see if there are metrics and patterns to maybe certain questions, or maybe I can maybe even classify a target demographic even a little bit better by the way they're responding or where they're responding. So I wanted you to just touch a little bit more on that, on how I'm going to pull information and what value it gives to me for someone that is trying to maintain a brand reputation?
So a couple of things. So I guess you actually do see who texts in your number. You got like, daily usage, monthly usage, stuff like that. A couple of things, for example, working with like Jen, she does like MarTech. So she does like short links. So like one of the things like we probably embed those in actually. So if you actually send a link out and the customer clicks on that, so we can track those things. And then yeah, you can actually just like, for example, just have a campaign like just bring your phone and show this message to say you've received the message type of thing, right?
Do they get to choose their name?
What name? What do you mean?
When they're testing you, you said alias.
So the business creates a keyword, like their own alias.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what incentive do they have to actually click the short link? Is this to direct them somewhere else?
Yeah,
Does it provide
yeah,
a FAQ?
like a PDF, like an order online or order ahead, order online, maybe like a YouTube video, for example. It's just like giving you ability to get more information about a product before you actually engage with the brand.
Okay.
Another question? Oh, sorry.
It was a good presentation. What I'm curious about is, if I understand you correctly, you've got the, it's up and operating now?
Yeah.
Okay, and so you've got some clients. I'm wondering, could you maybe expand a little bit on what that client experience is so far? So of the clients, of the business, so the clients are business owners?
Yes.
That are using service. So what's their experience so far? So if I want to engage in this company, how do I see what the benefit is to me as a business? From the businesses that are using it so far?
You can use it for free for a month. We'll give it to you free for a month.
Okay, but there's a huge gap there missing. I think is there a way that you can fill that, create a bridge there for me so that rather than jumping in blindly?
Maybe share how the chiropractor system is using it, how they do outreach. It answers questions. He's just looking for more of an in-depth case study of how someone as a client is using it.
So for example, Jeffrey introduced me to someone, I guess I met with them, they signed up. So they're a chiropractic clinic. So pretty much like dentists, chiropractors, lose a lot of money in no-shows. So for example, like they use it as a way just to remind patients about appointments. So again, it's just a two-way back and forth communication. Like it doesn't have to be just a pull, it can be a push as well. So yeah, they lose like $150,000 a year in no-shows. So like it's cut that number significantly. She came to me. That's what kind of work. I mean, yeah.
So is there other benefits to your system aside from that? Is there a marketing aspect to it? Does a business gain any type of an edge? Like, are they findable through being part of TextBox? Is there
I believe so, because I mean, like one of the things, for example, like live chats increase your conversion rates by up to 45%. So this is kind of like a live chat for like offline ads. It's a live chat for, I guess, like things where you couldn't put a live chat, and it increases by having that, like in terms of the buying process, I guess, like we always have questions, so we go try to find answers. If you can like answer the customer directly, I feel like that gives you an edge in terms of, I guess, I don't know, making that buying decision. So it gives a better conversion rate for any existing marketing promotional material.
Right. So if I understand it right, what's going to happen is that you're going to grow this organically, like just one customer, one business at a time.
We'd love to like work with channel partners. So for example, like a Patterson Outdoor Media, like so they do all the billboards in Canada, so or Toronto at least. So if we got to work with them and they'd like give it to their clients, that'd be awesome for us. But we got to start just get a little bit more traction first.
Okay, perfect. One last question.
Great presentation. I really like the ribbon too at the bottom, and I think I might use that in my next presentation. I'm actually curious about somebody asked a question or made a comment about intellectual property. I'm actually an intellectual property lawyer, and I'm just curious about that. I used to work at Microsoft, and I know that they have a significant amount of patents relating to that type of use of SMS technology and integration into, and I know BlackBerry and Nokia and companies like that are very strong in that. Have you actually done any research in terms of whether you can offer that kind of product without infringing on their patents? Is that something that you know, or?
I filed a patent pending myself. I don't know if I'm infringing on anything. It's not. I haven't taken to the whole way, but I'm not sure.
But you filed for a patent?
A patent pending. I got a patent pending. Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know if I'm infringing. Like, I mean, that's like something I'd have to like figure out like later on.
Perfect. All right. Thank you. Taiwo, good job. Okay, so we have a question for the advisors. Don't worry, you're coming up, Brian. You're coming up, buddy. I like the eagerness, but I can't hand the mic over yet. So the question for you guys, and again, these questions come in to us all the time as angel investors, but also just from the community. So the question is, I need quick money to start prototyping. How do I interest angels, or who can help?
Friends and family. First seed round for anybody. That's usually the way to go. I have a very specific instance where we invested because the person had literally a 3D printed prototype. It's not really a prototype. And the reason why we invested and gave her the money because she was going to use it to do a Kickstarter campaign. So she had a clear understanding of what the money was going to be used for. That wasn't actually about prototyping. It was about creating demand and then fulfilling afterwards. So it's not always about getting the engineering right before you start selling it. And she ultimately, that's what she did. She used the money to create the biggest raise on Kickstarter ever. So that's a way to interest angels if there's something else that they're going to use the money for. Just for prototyping, yeah, it's friends and family.
Okay, you guys have any thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think I would reflect what she said. I mean, yeah, friends, family, and fools. Yeah, you gotta get them.
The 3 Fs, right? All right, no, and you know what? I think at the end that's good. You're right. There is the friends, family, and foes, or fools, or however they call that. But I think it actually comes down to being a pretty serious question in some instance because there are a lot of companies that fall right at that point in time. They can't find money. Some of the other things I might throw at you guys, just so that in the community-wise, there's a lot of pitch events that provide you with contest wins. So you can make $5,000, $10,000, $1,000, $500, whatever that is if you go to a contest. Everybody thinks that, that's beneath me, but when you're trying to survive and get that prototype or get the business going, I highly recommend it. And one, it also helps you get in front of a big audience. There's Xcelerator programs that offer those types of dollars as well. And there's also other areas where the government has certain funding that can provide for early stage. IRAP, they have dollars. The other one is OCE. Talk to them every 2 weeks, and I can't remember their name. So, those are the types of things you got to look at because at the end of the day, the last thing you want to do is fail because you couldn't find a few dollars to keep the project moving. The other thing you can do is become friends with Irene or find out who Frank is and talk and become friends with him. They like this type of thing too. So, but at the end of the day, you really got to do a lot of things to keep your business moving forward, and that certainly is one of them. All right, well, thank you guys for that. Jane said she passed. I think she's going to meet everybody over there with a checkbook, right, Jane? On behalf of IBM. All right, so Ryan, you're up. Only because you've been so eager, we're going to let you go now. All right. Good job, all right.
Hello, hello. Okay, I'm loud, I know. Hello, everybody. My name is Ryan Silver. I'm a 22-year-old science and technology student at York University and a former cards dealer at Casino-Rama. Today, I'm here to offer you all the exciting opportunity to place your bets in the exciting world of casino gaming, but on the profitable side, of course. Now, I realize not everybody might have a deep understanding of the casino market, so I'm going to start today's presentation off with a quick summary. There are 2,378 casinos in North America, and within them, 26,875 table games are run on the daily. This amounts to a $75 billion market for casino gaming in the USA alone, compared to the global market of $110 billion. Needless to say, the gaming market is flourishing as always, but they face an interesting dilemma. You see, casino operators are shifting their focus from baby boomers to the younger Generation Z and millennials to help fuel the future for the gaming industry. However, there's only one problem. The kids hate slot machines. They hate slot machines, the very backbone of the casino industry for the last half a century. For those of who visit a casino regularly in the US, only 2%, that's 1 in 50 of those aged 21 to 34, play slot machines. Even those slot machines currently account for 60 to 90% of gaming revenue on the US. This is a serious problem, and casino operators are looking for something shiny and new to help attract a younger generation. That is where Lucky Sevens comes in. Lucky Sevens is a new gaming experience designed to cater towards a younger gaming demographic via a simple and social gaming atmosphere. Now, as the inventor of the game, I could go on and on talking about the benefits of Lucky Sevens on a casino floor, but trust me, to save you the 4 to 5 hours of talking, I'll just sum it up in a few words. It's simple, it's social, it's fun, and of course, it's profitable for the casino. The house always wins. Now, I am also going to be running the game for a trial just outside, following the conclusion of, actually, I guess I'm the last speaker, so after this presentation, for anybody that wants to try the product, I promise you it doesn't matter what your experience at casinos are, it's so simple, you'll learn it in a matter of minutes, and you'll be an expert in a matter of a couple hands. Now, just a bit on the company history. Our company is embedded in 25 years of casino experience, obviously not all from me, I'm 22. However, my father, a valued advisor to the company, established a deep reputation for the family name within the casino market. Now, with his time with Silver Star Sports and Entertainment Group, of which he ran the International Poker Tours, which ran large-scale poker events all across casinos in North America. He generated a very deep network within the casino community, which, of course, Lucky Sevens has been utilizing to date. Now, the part that everybody waits for, of course, the money. We're looking for an investment of $150,000 for 7.5% of company shares. That amounts to a pre-sale valuation of $2 million. That's pre-sale of $2 million. I am here to justify that number over the rest of the course of the presentation. Now, question you're probably asking yourself is, Ryan, how exactly do you make money? And that's a very important question with a very simple answer. We lease the tables out. We lease the tables to the casino operators, and the industry standard states approximately a $500 fee per month per unit for a new game like Lucky Sevens, which we plan to uphold to. Now, I want to dismiss this concept before it arises. No, we do not share the revenue based on how much the table generates on the casino floor with the casinos. That is unheard of in Canada, and it's seldom found in the United States. All of the forecast that you're about to see in a few slides is purely off of leasing fees. I also just want to quickly, to put into perspective, Lucky Sevens is expected to generate about $800,000 for every $5 increments bet per year for the casino floor. To put that to compare such, the average blackjack table in Nevada last year generated $475,000, but a more comparable game would be Mini Baccarat, which generated $700,000 with the same credentials. That being noted, though, those are $10 to $15 minimum tables, while these projections for Lucky Sevens are off of the $5 bet. This is just to show you how profitable Lucky Sevens can be for a casino operator. Now, also just want to quickly note, in order to legally obtain revenue in this industry, we have to have a gaming license in every single region that the RAIM is running in. In order to bypass this very heavy licensing cost, we'll be using distributors. Distributors are commonly table games manufacturers, so the manufacturers that actually make the tables that go on the casino floor. They already have licenses in every region that they deal with, and we will be going to them, making a contract. They agree to a revenue share with us. They approach the casinos that they are already doing business with. They get the leasing fees. We split the revenue. The industry standard is about 50-50 split between distributor and developer. However, I've already negotiated with one particular Canadian distributor down to a 20-80 split in our company's favor. The following forecast uses that 20-80 split for Canadian casinos. And a 60-40 split with American casinos. That being said, a couple more assumptions. I can't go over them all today for time restriction purposes, but we do assume this conservative growth of the game, where we only reach 137 casinos after 10 years of efforts. This is actually a rather slow development compared to other games, and this is only 5% of the gaming market. On top of that, this forecast does not account for online revenue, which of course the game is going to be looking into, but not in the immediate future of the game. This will be somewhere down the line in a few years. Additionally, we don't account for any add-ons that could be added to the game, which have already begun development in the very early development stages of some of them, which would also increase revenue streams on the game. With all that being said, off of just leasing cost, after the first game is run, we expect $139,000 in the first year. After 3 years, $785,000. And by year 10, just leasing costs will be generating $2.5 million in revenue annually and growing. Just to put it into perspective, perspective, the valuation I already gave today, this would make an ROI of 404% by year 10 and a break-even point at year 5, just based off of the leasing costs. Oh, that happened again. Okay, let's try. There we go. Like every good business plan, of course, we have an exit strategy, and ours involves, of course, getting eaten by the bigger fish. But who is the big fish in this industry? There are a lot. But one of the most notable ones is Scientific Games, which declared $2.8 billion in revenue in 2015. Now, they have a reputation for making their own successful new casino games, but also helping new ones grow via being a distributor for them. But then, before they get too big, buying them out. They have a history of buying out games before they become too big to become competition. I don't have time to go over certain examples today, but in short, they make buyout offers once approximately 100 units are on the floor, which is expected by year 3 for Lucky Sevens. And buyout offers range, of course, but a reasonable buyout offer is expected to be around $6 million US with a 10-year revenue share of a certain amount. After a few accounts, I've seen around $12 million is a reasonable expectation. So a $6 million buyout with a $12 million revenue share for up to 10 years American is a reasonable exit plan for Lucky Sevens. I also want to note the biggest reason I mentioned Scientific Games is because they've already shown significant interest in Lucky Sevens. We attended the Canadian Gaming Summit for the first public appearance of the game just under 2 months ago, and we had a very successful time in doing so. One of the biggest achievements we had was actually meeting with some representatives of Scientific Games. They have continued the dialect since then, and I've been speaking to some of their higher-ups since then as well. I just want to answer a few questions before they get asked. Absolutely, the game is mathematically certified to have an edge for the house. That was done by PhD mathematician named Joe Shipman, formerly of GLI, the gaming standard for gaming certification. Yes, we have an app in development. It is going to be for the iOS. You'll be able to play the game for free. No, you will not be able to gamble on it. It's expected to be done by October. Just to put things in a further perspective on how we generate revenue, once the first casino agrees to try the game, for the first case, there's still a 6 months downtime approximately in order to get licensed within the jurisdiction, because the governing body has to approve the game to make sure it's not unfair for the house or for the player. In addition to that, the first casino that runs the game will run the game for free for at least 3 months as per company industry standard. This is to lower the risk for the casino, but in return, we will get statistics on the game and how much it generates in order to be able to sell it further. And finally, the next big milestone for the company is the Nevada Table Games competition in November, where Lucky Sevens is going to be competing and winning against other new table games for the grand prize of being able to being placed on 4 floors across the west coast of the United States. I'd like to thank you all for the time. I've done enough talking. It's time for you to go. Let you guys do the talking now, and thank you very much for your time.
Awesome. Thank you.
Listen, I mean, this is the third time I'm so I can repeat after you, or I can say that presentation. But you're a very engaging presenter. There's no doubt about it, right? This is not a question, but just as an investor, just a question that pops in my mind. If the math is so good for this, I mean, the average revenue per table is higher than the conventional games out there, why isn't everybody jumping on that? Okay, so maybe you want to answer that question. And definitely, I think if you go to the casino, and I'm not a casino aficionado, right? So I don't know much about that, but obviously, if you look at the demographics have to shift, right? For them to start, if these guys start flipping over, there has to be replacement. So obviously, there is potential for this idea, though, right? So overall, you have an engaging style. You gotta convince investors, if this is so good, why isn't everybody jumping on this right away, kind of thing?
Absolutely, I echo what Nikhil just said. And I've seen your presentation, and so it is you're very engaging. That's not the issue. I come back to the comment about the math, which is your forecast is very conservative, which I find kind of funny because you're in the gaming industry, that you made it so conservative that it does not feel like it's going to give enough of a return. At $758,000 in year 3 or year 5, it just doesn't feel like it has that. And I think one of the things that would help is just a scenario play is like, if this happens with 100 tables, this is the math. and just a bar graph, or rather a line graph that shows if I had 200 tables or whatever, I get distribution in this way. The last piece from my perspective, and I look at investments all the time, why? Because $150,000 is not a huge amount of money, notwithstanding that it is a lot of money. Given your connections and given your positive feedback from a potential acquirer already, that's the piece that now makes me start to think. That wasn't part of the first presentation, but it makes me think a little bit more, and so that's more of the question. And that's just a personal question, not your presentation.
Yeah, again, I'm the second time listening to this, and you have improved since the last time. And you could slow down a little bit because it was a little bit hard to understand at the beginning. But some question that I have echoing both the advisor, and also on top of that is, like, I understand that your dad is having a really big network, and I'm not getting why this is not being used. Like, if I have that dad, I'm going to ask him to put my Lucky 7 into a room in the next tour, and then have a TV show shooting that room, having people playing and drinking alcohol, whatever, right? I'm going to have my dad do that. It's my dad, right? He's not going to refuse, okay? So, I don't see why you didn't do that. Imagine if your thing is showing up on national TV in the next poker play for 5 minutes. Just imagine that. What is going to happen to your game, right? And if you really don't need the $150,000, maybe you should just ask Nicole to borrow it instead of selling equity. That might help you as well, right? to lend him the loan shark money.
No, I'm not a loan shark.
You're below loan shark, okay. Yeah, so that's about it. So I would say, really promote your game, because at the end of the day, you need to have us to know the game for the casino to buy in. So it's like a two-way thing. It's not that casino buy in and then we learn from the casino. We don't go learn from the casino. We probably already know how to play it, and then we go see, oh, Lucky 7, I just, play it in the, my charity casino in my grandma's, old home's hotel or whatever, right? So you need to educate us so that we recognize the brand, and at the same time, casino will see that, okay, 300,000 people know this, maybe we should put it in, right?
Thank you, guys. I think you have a new advisor. I think she's all over this game.
I like it.
Thank you.
All right, who's got questions?
Really nice presentation.
Thank you.
Quick question. So casino is just one market. When you started it, that it's a social game, have you ever thought about converting into a board game and like selling the board game to every house for $50-$60? It's
Turn around and ask Angelo if we've talked about that already. We have, yes. Thank you, though. Yeah.
Any other questions? So does that mean you're building a game?
I plead the fifth.
Good presentation. I love your energy. That's
Thank you.
fantastic. Comes across really well. What I'm wondering about is that the demographic, the age group that we're talking about, it's not something that's coming up. It's something that already exists. So what's the strategy to get some uptake on that? Like, these are people that are already going to casinos. They're already in that age group. They're already participating. Or if they're not participating, what's your strategy to engage them?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I'm going to answer it and try to answer it in two parts here. There is a fair portion of gamers in these two age groups, especially millennials. However, the casinos are working towards making that larger. And there are studies that show that millennials and Generation Z love gambling. However, they're gambling from home, and they're not, they don't have the funds to do so. So the best answer I have for you is, to be fair, advertising to get people into the casino floor is actually on the casino's behalf. What I'm doing is providing them with a product that does attract that market, that allows them to be able to advertise effectively to the market as well. Now, of course, we're going to assist in advertising efforts for that, but a benefit of this company is that we get a piggyback off the advertising efforts of casinos. Also, there's a lot of restrictions on advertising for us, so it's very difficult to properly market. But of course, we do plan, as you mentioned, we want to try to generate interest via a few other ways where people go to the casino already knowing about the game. And so people go to the casino just to try Lucky Sevens for the first time with their friends. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I directly answered the question there, but if I didn't, please. Okay, absolutely, thank you.
Okay, another question?
Hello, Ryan.
Hi.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
My name is Frank, by the way. I just wanted to, first of all, thank everyone for being here. But also, today we met, and I offered to invest in your company, right?
Yes.
Would you mind just talking to them a little bit? Because I agree with Irene in the sense of 2.5 million, 10 years down the road is a long time.
Right.
Is there real value here that after 3 years and 100 tables, the norm in the industry is you get bought out by this company?
So that's a wonderful question. I feel like I'm cheating because I wasn't supposed to address those questions, but I guess I kind of am here now. Okay, so yes, okay, so first of all, again, I'm going to answer it a couple parts here, but I did use conservative estimates, but again, that's very much to the floor of this company's potential. Again, this is not including a revenue share, which is, again, unlikely, but a potential, especially with some of the connections I have in the US already as is. And so with that being said, the ROI that I have presented today was 404%, but if we include just one revenue share of 5%, with just one casino operator, the ROI is 2,000% after 10 years. So there's an immediate return that's drastically improved of just one of the additional opportunities that this company brings. In addition, sorry, the second part of your question, you asked, the buyouts. Yes, I've actually been in contact with several very famous game developers and asking them for quotes especially, but asking them for their advice on how to develop a game effectively and what I should be expecting in the market. And every single one says the exact same thing. Once you got 100 tables on the floor, you're going to get a call from Scientific Games. Every single one. And so actually I called Scientific Games, one of their developers as well, and they said, come back when you have 100 tables on the floor as well. So again, that is the norm in the industry, that a very big offer will be made at that point. Whether or not we sell is completely dependent on what the revenue streams are at that point in our company's lifetime, of course.
Perfect. You should set up in front of Woodbine, get a big green bin, open the door, start playing. They won't kick you out because they won't know what it is. And
actually,
just
their
start.
tables are opening just a few days from now, so
there you go. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All right, perfect. Thanks, Ron.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time.
All right, so for our last segment, how many people here are entrepreneurs? How many people want to be entrepreneurs? How many people should just be an entrepreneur instead? All right, so how many of you have startups? Oh my God, everybody, that's amazing. What we do here is we have a 30-second segment, which you can come up to the front. We'll take 5 or 6 of you. You can come up, and you got a 30-second pitch to the audience about what you do. So you need to say your name, what the company is, and what you guys do. And you got 30 seconds. So come on up. Come on, you guys are all entrepreneurs. If you don't go up, I'm going to come up and pitch one. All right, we got 4. That's good, that's good. All right, so here's the deal. You say your name. All right, done. Your name, company name, what you're about, and you got 30 seconds. Ready? No, you got 30 seconds all in one. I'm starting the clock right now. You're on.
Monetization in the freemium games model is completely outdated. As a result, 97% of users who play freemium games do not spend a penny on in-app purchases. We at Sky Canvas Games have introduced a proprietary monetization system that is way ahead of its time. Our system greatly increases the conversion rate from free users to paying customers. We at Sky Canvas love games and are highly educated in the field, as we are graduates from the Game Development and Entrepreneurship program at UIT. My name is Prithvi Macha, and I understand the mindset of our players.
All right. Thank you. 30 seconds. This wasn't 30 minutes.
All right. Hi, my name is Jack. I'm the co-founder and CEO at the company called Kiri Innovation. Question for you. Who knows what a 3D scanner is? And who has one? That's the problem. Because right now, the 3D scanner are super expensive for consumer levels. And a lot of people, there are 22% growth every year who has a huge demand on purchasing one of the 3D scanner for their home. But right now, the price is so high for them. So we are creating a solution to develop a really cheap... Your name is? Jack. Kiri Innovation. Come talk to me later.
Good job, good job. You're on.
Hi, my name is Bien. I represent Real-Time Signs. We're working on smart drive-thrus. What we're doing is we're capturing license plates and facial image recognition using AWS, and we're creating essentially a tailored customer experience when you drive through so that will know the weather, recommending certain types of products. Essentially, we're going to build a profile around people that we know exactly what you want before you want when you're ordering. Bien.
Yeah, nice job, buddy. You're up.
Hi guys, my name is Basil Tutunji. I am representing Gorebyte. We're gonna be the next Microsoft. We are developing an operating system for the blockchain. We have G nodes are gonna be installed. Today you have 24 million users on blockchain. In 5 years, it's gonna be 100 million users. If we just take 20% using G nodes for the secure access for the blockchain. So we are, remember, the next Microsoft.
And your name is?
Basil.
Awesome. Thanks, Basil.
Hey folks, my name's Armin. I'm the founder of Node. We connect influencers with businesses and brands. So we operate a marketplace where businesses could offer free products and services in exchange for posts and recommendations from influencers. Our app launched on the iOS store 2 weeks ago, and you can catch us at the CNE Innovation, what is it called? Innovation Garage on Friday, pitching at 12:30 to see the full pitch. Cheers.
Awesome. Thank you, buddy.
Hello, I'm Jimmy. I'm from Linux Technology Consulting Company. We mainly deal with R&D tax. We deal with the R&D tax in China and in Canada. In Canada, we mainly focus on SR and ED and related training and government cash grants. We also do R&D advisory for the like risk management and sorry. My name is Jimmy.
All right, thanks, Jimmy. Thank you. All right, guys, thank you very much for that. That was awesome. I always enjoy cutting people off at 30 seconds. Not gonna lie. It is kind of fun. The ones that know that I'm gonna do it, it sucks because they catch me off guard and I want to jump in and say their names. So, but outside that, I think we're good. So. That pretty much concludes the show, so I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Brian has his game set up over there. We want to thank all of our sponsors, all of the people that helped, including the advisors. You guys were awesome. Thank you. And I think you guys should be able to go and pin them down after and ask them more questions, especially the ones that pitched. You now have them in the room, so ask them questions. Don't let them leave. Trip them. Whatever you got to do. It's football season. So figure out how you can get more time from them. But outside of that, thank everybody for all your help. You guys were awesome. Brian and the rest of the crew for everything. And our sponsors and everything for helping out. So thank you very much for coming. Enjoy the water and have a great night. Thank you.